got a new, we'll call it project. I knew it was going to be a project going into it, but after getting it home, realized how much of a project it was going to be because of people really not being honest, and um, definitely partially my mistake. Uh, it was almost the perfect storm, so to say. When I met with the people, it was really rainy, so couldn't inspect the truck like I normally would. So I do hold myself accountable for that. But the lack of honesty is baffling to me. It's kind of a shame that people just have to be so unhonest. So they just can't be honest. But show you around and whatnot. But needless to say that it was the scariest ride home of my life. And my wife was in the car with me, and she didn't talk to me for about 2 days. Um, Now she wouldn't like this truck even if it were in showroom condition, but uh, she really doesn't like it now. But I'll kind of take you around and show you what it is, and then what I found out once I got home and started tinkering around with it. Um, in in Facebook conversation, I was told that the tires might need to be replaced, but that the front ones were just replaced, and so those should be good. Well, not sure how well it's going to come up, but yeah, you can see it pretty good. But this is maybe 10%, 15% tread on the rears. So if those were the bad ones, right, then let's look at the front ones that were supposedly replaced. Yeah, yeah, totally. And oh my gosh, like look at the inside, you can see the, just because of the camber. So yeah, I mean, if that's someone's version of replacement, well, it's pretty impressive. Um, yeah. So then we'll look at the engine. Um, as you can see, a lot of work has been done. This is a '93 Chevy, so it's a TBI. The one thing I guess you could say is somewhat honest that was said was that there's a minor oil leak coming out of the valve cover, which is in fact the case. Um, and you can obviously see the wires and stuff and whatnot. But if that were it, that's pretty easy to change, obviously. But then I started on the way home. I started hearing a sound, and I just didn't know what it was, and this and that. And like I said, the next day when it cleared up and had daylight, I was able to kind of like start looking around. And so, as you can see, they switched it to, I guess, what they call the V. Um, so it has the small lines on it, and these are pretty much, both of them are pretty much shot. But they completely rerouted everything. The alternator is supposed to be over here. It's over here. Just stuff like that. But the interesting part of that is the alternator is held on by one bolt. I don't know if you can see that wiggling because I'm probably moving the camera at the same time, but uh, this, that was the sound that I was hearing. It was just flopping around, and this bolt is just kind of shoved in there. I don't even know, like I haven't even put a wrench to it yet. This is as I got it. The other thing I noticed when it was running is the crank pulley and harmonic balancer are quite wobbly. You can actually see the crank pulley right there. You can actually, if you look close, you can see uh, that it's just bent and just all messed up. So yeah, that was fun too. So yeah, now I got to go through and figure out, just what is what. And I went today and basically bought new stuff. I'm gonna basically switch it back to how it should be, and because if this made sense why they did this, then you know, that's one thing, but just to do it, I guess, just to get closer to the audio stuff, that just seems a little ridiculous. So what else? Oh, I also, on the way home, noticed that there was some exhaust smell and whatnot, and, you know, didn't think too much of it until I looked at how they ran the wire, and, you know, I mean, that's just professional right there. I mean, I'm no pro installer, but, I mean, yeah. And that's especially good considering that the tires are right there, and in a rainy environment, which obviously I wouldn't normally drive this, you know, so there's probably going to be some water gathered up in there and everything like that. So I'll be ripping all that out and redoing that. Well, it's the AC, and once again, this is partially my fault, but it just astounds me just what people will say is, I asked them if the AC worked, and they said no, it probably just needed the charge. Well, might need more than a charge. It's, you know, just sitting there. So yeah. Yeah. What else? See this bolt? See that gold or brass, whatever bolt? It's just kind of there. That doesn't seem too good to me. On the other side, that same bolt is all the way in. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's the engine part of it. I'll start it up and we'll see if the camera can pick it up in terms of how bad everything's vibrating. Let's see. But yeah, so that's that. It is airbagged and whatnot, and I've noticed that the airbags have all of them have a slow leak. So that's pretty awesome too. So I'll have to go and kind of redo some of that. Let's see what else. You know, just getting stuff in how you want to. I mean, that's good stuff. Oh, look, I didn't even notice this. There's a crescent wrench here because I believe they put a power seat in what I believe to be, or maybe they just never hooked it up, a non-power seat bracket. So I'll have to investigate that one. That one, like I said, that's kind of new. This is pretty awesome though. This is gonna be fun. Look at that. That's just amazing. I don't think I've ever seen so many T connectors. I literally saw that 2 minutes before I made this video, and I was like, wow, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah. And then $900 for this sub enclosure, which, wow, that's as bad as me getting the deal I got on this. I mean, come on, if you're gonna use caulk, use some clear on the outside, and then don't show all your screws on the inside. And then if you're gonna do it, at least paint the top. It's pretty. I laugh to keep from crying. I actually really do like this truck, but it's just, like I said, it kind of gave me a bad taste in my mouth. The other funny thing is they were saying what it metered, and I was kind of recalling this, and they were basically saying, yeah, you know, it metered this, and you'll be able to, you know, get a dB or two more if you see, you know, deaden the doors and the dash and all that stuff. And I was sitting there thinking, like, well, maybe this huge hole that you created, instead of doing it correctly with grommets, that, you know, that might be letting out some of your dBs. Yeah, so pretty funny. The other thing, down the rabbit's hole, so to say. But so I guess they had installed some batteries and maybe an amp rack or something, it looks like, or whatnot, and everything. So instead of doing things even what I would consider remotely right, and remember, like I said, I'm not professional by any means or whatever. I made many a mistake. Let's see, that's their ground. Oh yeah, ground to the chassis. So they went through the floor. I'll have to look underneath. I wouldn't be surprised if there's no silicone or anything. But yeah. So anyway, so this is like a board on the back of the cab wall, and this is pretty awesome. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Let me see if I can focus it. Oh man. Well, let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. There we go. They just stuck about 20 something screws through there. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good work. Nothing like shortcuts. So yeah, I mean, instead of taking whatever 9 bolts or whatever and taking the bed off and just doing things right, man, it's really all I can say. So we're gonna call this the first adventure of the Chevy truck, and we'll go from there. And I'll keep you updated and everything. I'm going to the junkyard tomorrow to buy I bought all the pulleys and everything for the truck, and I got all the tools and you know, all that to do it. But because of what they did, all the, you know, brackets and bolts and I don't have it to put all the new stuff on. So I need to go to the junkyard tomorrow and buy all that, and then I'll be in business. So my Christmas break is going to be making this car run like it should. Like I said, it seems to run pretty good. So hopefully it'll run like a top once I get done with it. So yeah, we'll see. Some more later, and more stuff on the Magnum. I haven't forgot about that, but well, you can even see how cockeyed that is. I have no idea how long that was run like that. It's kind of scary. But I haven't forgot about the Magnum. I'm not sure if I'm gonna sell it, or if I'm gonna just put a big build in it. So time will tell. But yeah, so see you next time.